howling with a pain that transcended human grief. His rage against Agamemnon vanished, replaced by a singular cold, consuming desire for vengeance against Hector. The loss of Patroclus stripped away Achilles' pride, leaving only raw, devastating human grief. He was no longer fighting for glory. He was fighting to reclaim the soul he had failed to save. 5. Vengeance and the nadir of honor. The divine armor and the return. Thetis intervened again, bringing new armor forged by Hephaestus. Clad in this terrible panoply, Achilles returned to battle, a figure of unstoppable, terrifying fury. He massacred countless Trojans, driving them into the river Xanthus, clogging the waters with their bodies until the river god himself attacked him. He was a force of utter, merciless destruction. The duel. Finally, he cornered Hector, who stood alone outside the great Scaean gate. This duel was the climax of the Iliad. Hector fighting for his city and family, Achilles fighting only for vengeance and death. Hector asked Achilles for one final act of honor, to return his body for proper burial. Achilles' reply was chilling, the very essence of his grief-fueled mania. Dogs and vultures will eat you entirely. He killed Hector swiftly. Achilles' rage did not end with the death. He pierced Hector's ankles, lashed the body to his chariot, and drove in circuits around the city walls, dragging the revered body through the dust in a barbaric display of desecration, witnessed by Hector's wailing family on the ramparts. This moment marked the lowest point of Achilles' moral character. His grief had transformed him into a monster, devoid of the time he had once valued so highly. 6. Redemption, the ransom of Hector, the divine command, and Priam's plea. The gods, sickened by this sacrilege, intervened. Zeus sent Iris to Priam, instructing the elderly king of Troy to go to the Greek camp and ransom his son's body. Hermes guided Priam through the enemy lines. The scene that followed was one of the most poignant moments in literature. Priam, the king whose war Achilles had waged, fell to his knees, kissing the terrible, man-killing hands of the warrior who had murdered his son. He appealed to Achilles, not as a king, but as a father, reminding him of his own aged father, Peleus. A moment of humanity. Priam's profound sorrow broke through the hard shell of Achilles' grief. Achilles remembered his own father, whom he would never see again. The two enemies wept together, Achilles for Patroclus and Peleus, Priam for Hector and Troy. Achilles, finally purged of his self-destructive rage, accepted the ransom. He treated Priam with honor, shared a meal, and granted a temporary truce for Hector's funeral. This act of compassion was Achilles' true redemption.